My name is Brian Amwai. It is the 5th of December. Welcome to Trending News at this particular hour here on Lookuptv rather. Do be part of this program by engaging us on our socials at Lookuptv, that is on X, and also on Facebook. Let us bring you up to date with the news making headlines across the country as we prepare for our main bulletins tonight at 7 and at 9. Let's begin. Controller of Budget Margaret Nyakang'O has been released on a 500,000 shillings cash bail after pleading not guilty to 4 charges in a Mombasa court. Nyakang'O was arrested early Tuesday morning on offences including conspiracy to defraud, operating an unlicensed SACCO, forgery and uttering false documents. All right, now Kenya and India are set to expand partnership in technology alongside other sectors. While on a state visit in India, President RUTO said the two nations are aiming to work together to effect change in the world financial system and transform lives.
India and Kenya are great friends. We've had diplomatic engagement at different levels from way back in 1948, even before the independence of Kenya. And I have come to India this time round at the invitation of Madam President and my good friend, the Prime Minister. And my expectation is that we need to consolidate the relationship between Kenya and India. We are looking at how we can create partnership in the space of rural development, especially agriculture. We'll be looking at a space of how we can share in manufacture of vaccines, both for animal and human. We're looking at what we can do about genomics. We will be signing an agreement on also the digital space. We have a lot to learn from this great country, especially in the digital space. We have already, I did send from Kenya our Ministry of ICT to pick up lessons on digital ID, digitizing government services, leveraging on the enabler nature.
Now, the Hustler Fund has disbursed over 41 billion shillings to over 22 million Kenyans since its inception, according to the latest data from the government. Now, according to PS in charge of MSMEs, Susan Auma, the number of Kenyans borrowing from the Hustler Fund was on the rise. Now, she further downplayed allegations of mass default, adding that the fund had empowered millions, mainly the low-wage earners, in supporting their small businesses.
The question of unemployment is a question that all of us sits together and jointly come up with interventions. So we have quite a number of interventions that you're discussing, but specifically for this forum is to look at MSME, because the only opportunity now we have to create massive jobs to our population is the MSME sector, because out of the workforce of 20 million, only 3.5 are engaged formally, are formally employed, meaning we have 16.5 million Kenyans who are outside there, who are informal, who are trying to do things on their own. So the responsibilities of the two levels of government right now is to see how do we make the self-employment opportunities become more secure, become more competitive for our population. At the national level, we have a number of catalytic funds which are supporting the MSMEs. From the government side, the new kid on the block, of course, is the Hustler Fund that we all know about, which has so far covered 22 million Kenyans. And we have been able to disperse, as of today, close to 41 billion. Here was a gov checked, 41 billion Kenyan shillings. to close to 22 million Kenyans. And why are we doing this? We are doing this so that we can give Kenyans that key to access more opportunities within the MSME ecosystem. And then the MSME ecosystem has both the private sector and also has got the government agencies. We have, for example, the Youth Enterprise Fund, which we also re-engineering to offer financing to young people who are running enterprises. The SME loan is business purpose, business oriented, where, for example, you have a registered enterprise and you want to borrow to do your business. We are working on it, and this is targeting the small and the medium enterprises. So again, you can still be able to access that through digital. You don't have to wait for long after you have applied the way our MSMEs. All this journey is expected to help our MSME move from being informal to somehow formal, because if they are formal or we have like a basic KYC, they know your customer kind of data, we are able then to support them and see to it that we can build their capacity, we can do networking, we can look for market both domestically and even globally.
This, especially the private sector, our focus, we are defined by our operations in.
Now, the government has been urged to prioritize inclusivity of people living with disabilities. While marking the official International Day, Paul Ole Sopia, the chairman of PWLDs in Eldoret, further called on National Assembly to pass the PWLD bill and address their pressing issues.
Siku ya leo tuko katika shule ya Ole Sangale tukisherekea siku ya walemavu duniani, na pia tunasema kwamba haki zetu zisipate kuangaziwa kama wale wengine pia, kwa sababu hii ni global UN International Day for Persons with Disability. Tukasema hata sisi pia tupate kushirikishwa na hata pia sisi kuja kusherekea kama watu wale wengine. Mahitaji yetu ni mengi kama watu walemavu. Tuna mahitaji ya waajiri, tuna mahitaji ya kujumuishwa katika vikundi vyote vile, na hata pia kuwa na wakilishi. Katika kama kaunti hii ya Narok, hatuna mwakilishi yote ya watu walemavu katika county assembly. Shida zetu si nyingi zinakosa kuangaziwa kwa sababu hatuna mwakilishi. Pia tunasema kwamba katika kujumuishwa katika serikali kuu na serikali ya ugatuzi, tunataka si kama watu walemavu tupate kuangaziwa. Tuna mashida mingi, hata changamoto ya waajiri pia kufanya kazi, na pia tuna watoto kama wasasi, na pia tunaona kwamba hapo kuna changamoto kubwa. Tunataka pia nasi tuangaziwe ili tupate kupata usaidizi ule.
Now, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has pitched camp in Murang'a County to enlighten residents on the negative effects of corruption. This coming ahead of the Anti-Corruption Day set for 9th December at Murang'a University. Now, presiding over the event, Governor Irungu Kang'ata noted that EACC will give a report on the status of corruption in the last 20 years, noting that the government is keen on fighting corruption.
And welcome.
This will culminate into a commemoration on the 9th, which will be Saturday at Murang'a University of Technology, to sort of have a very clear understanding of where we are at in terms of the fight against corruption in the last 20 years, in line with the UN Convention Against Corruption theme of UN UNCAC at 20. Uniting the world against corruption. So Murang'a County is one of those counties that we have worked with very closely. For instance, as we speak, we have carried out a corruption risk assessment that is going to help Murang'a County to know where the weaknesses, where the challenges are, and make recommendations on what they need to do to strengthen accountability, improve service delivery to the people of Murang'a County.
Mfanyikazi yote ambaye atakuwa ameshtakiwa na mambo ya ufisadi, bila shaka tutachukua hatua. Kunaye ambaye kwa hivi sasa tumemwambia arudishe takriban 1800. Kunaye pia mwingine tumemwambia hivyo ambaye yuko katika idara ya ukulima. Pili, tumeleta mambo ya automation. Watu wanatumia mbinu za kisasa kulipa pesa mbalimbali, kwa mfano parking, cess zile zinalipwa katika soko zetu. Pia kuna hospitali watu wanalipa pesa na njia za kisasa.
Right now, away from that, Isiolo County residents have called upon the state and non-state actors to increase the interventions being channeled to families affected by floods. So far, 18,000 people have been displaced. Now, speaking during a food distribution exercise targeting affected households in Garemara, Burat and Kina wards, affected residents are appealing for more help.
Vile tumeweza kuendelea kuona na mvua jinsi inavyoendelea kunyesha, hofu yetu ni kwamba bado tunaona tutaendelea tu kuumia bado, kwa sababu katika manyumba saa hii maji imekuwa inatoka, hatujui hata inafunjika wapi. Madamu zinafunjika, maji mto inafunjika, inakuja inatufikia ndani ya manyumba. Inabidi kwa hiyo usiku tunatoroka kwenye manyumba, tunaenda kando pale maji hajaweza kufikia. Kwa hakika maji kabisa ndio imekuwa changamoto kwetu. Mvua ikiendelea kunyesha, mvua ndio imekuwa changamoto kwetu, kwa sababu hiyo maji inapotukuta na watoto. Saa hii wengine, majirani wengine saa hii wameweza kupeleka watoto katika kwa manyumba ya majirani. Tunatoa watoto hapa, tunaenda tunalala kwa majirani. Tunapotoka hapo, hiyo ndio imetuangamiza. Tunaomba tu kwa sababu ya mvua vile inaendelea kunyesha, serikali yake tunaomba wawe makini kutuangalia, kwa sababu hawa ndio tegemeo yetu na ni hawa ndio tunawaangalia. Kwa hakika kama hawa serikali yetu wanatutazama saa hii kulingana na ile hali tuko, tunaendelea kuangamia na hawa, kwa sababu sauti yetu ifikie president wetu, magavana wetu, wajaribu kutazama sio kijiji nusu ndio zimeweza kuangamia, ni watu wote kwa ujumla katika hiyo area ya Burat hakika wameweza kuumia.
All right, time to say goodbye at this particular hour. Thank you so much for your time and trusting us to bring you up to date with the news at 4. I'll see you again at 9 p.m. on the bottom line. And tonight we'll be having a conversation on matters to do with climate, especially the youth and climate action. We'll be having that conversation later on the program. That is the bottom line KE. So see you at 9 p.m. Do have yourselves a lovely evening and enjoy the rest of your programming here on Lookuptv.